Y'all thought I was gone. I ain't going nowhere. Hey, y'all. Welcome to my channel. Hi, I am Shar. I'm your recap auntie, and thank you so much for coming to my channel today. Who I know y'all like, Auntie, where you been? Child, I've been here. I've been right here. Just had, life be life, and had to get an upgrade on my cable. And so the man came by yesterday. I had planned on doing it, and time got away. And here I am today. So, yeah, I am in order. And then I did see this episode 30, which was the fashion show. So when I wanted to go ahead and do a separate video for that, notes was gone. I don't know what happened to my notes. I really don't know. I know I sat there and took, it wasn't a lot that I needed to take, but I took enough, especially when Ted and the fellas were talking to him about talking to Tomas. So I did take notes, but I don't know what happened to him. So I'm going to combine 2 episodes in one. I'm going to do episode 30 and 31 together. Okay? So, hey, y'all. Welcome to my channel. These 2 episodes, they were okay. 31 was better. Episode 30 was great to see how Danny worked in her element when it came to organization and fashion and stuff. That's her shit. Y'all, I know that. I love me some Danny. So, how y'all doing? Y'all doing good? Got somebody trying to play speed racer outside my window right now, but it's all good. And I thought I would wear a little leopard, animal print, tiger, whatever this is. Since, Miss Anita wore hers, I thought I would wear mine. I know I was supposed to be real fancy, but it's like 9 o'clock at night. We ain't doing that. So again, the episode 30 was really good. I mean, it's about fundraising. It's about, people bidding on things. It's about Danny really being in a place without Bill, which I was happy that Bill didn't show up at that damn fashion show. I was like, Bill, don't come up in there, please. But he didn't, thank God. So, yeah, episode 30 was all about the fashion show. It was cute that how Chelsea and Kat came over to Martin and Smitty's house to invite her over because, Samantha was talking to her friends about the fact that everybody's talking about this fashion show. She's never told her friends that the Chelsea Hamilton was her cousin. She's never told anybody that. But so she was admiring everything from afar. But when she was wanted to go to the fashion show, and Smitty was like, girl, it's a school night. You ain't going nowhere. You can keep your ass right here. So she's like, oh, so get a knock at the door. There's Kat and Chelsea who came by, and they told her that they wanted to take her to the fashion show, which I thought was great because she said she had already did her homework. She was ready. So she goes there and goes to the house, and Danny and Andre are there. And Andre is really helping Danny through some rough patches because, again, this is like the final partnership that she's going to have with Chelsea. And so she's kind of feeling sad, but Andre really did step his game up in this episode. He was really cool. So he, helped her talk herself out of this, whatever the slump is. So the girls come over, she sees that Samantha is there. And so they let Samantha try on this dress, and it really looked great on her. And some heels, and so Chelsea taught her how to walk. At first she was a little stiff. Then all of a sudden she started getting those smiles, eyes, that Tyra Banks do. And she started doing the catwalk. I was like, go ahead, Samantha, go ahead. So she did that. So they hurry up and went to the venue. And so they was going to have her to look through the live stream on her phone, on the camera, so that, she could do that. But no, what happened was that Tomas wound up coming there at the event. And Kat was really happy to see him there. He got a little he got a little shoved around a little bit by the men, by Ted, Martin, Papa Vernon, and Smitty. Ted kept hitting him on the shoulder. So tell us about yourself, boy. You think you can come over here? What makes you think you good for my daughter? All that nice bullying stuff that men do for their baby guys. They do that for their baby guys. So Tomas held his ground, and then they tried to tell him that, man, hopefully you last longer than that last one. Do y'all remember what she did? She cut his head off. She did, we could tell that Kat didn't do all of that, but they tried to intimidate him, but Tomas didn't let that faze him. So she comes over there and said, what are y'all doing? She said, I need you. So she took Tomas over and exchanged him for Samantha, took Samantha to the back. She says, Chelsea needs you to help her backstage. And Samantha's like, me? She gives that really surprise look. Me? Oh, Moo review, y'all. Remember, Moo review. So she's like, me? Who, me? So she goes backstage, and then we wound up seeing her walk the catwalk, and she found her niche, baby. She found her passion. She wants to be a model, and I can definitely see her do that. So she does really great. After she does the runway, she goes backstage, and she was asking Danny, "Oh, how do you do it? How do you do it?" She was asking everybody. Danny was like, "Girl, I feel you, but I'm running a show here. I can't talk to you right now." So she runs, and that was pretty much the end of the show. So Danny with her big smile, and Chelsea came up there and gave her final speech, talking about how beautiful and amazing her mom was, and the tenacity and strength that she has. She got it from her mom, and she will forever be grateful and partnering with her mom and helping her build this whole brand, this whole Chelsea Hamilton name. And the outfits that she modeled in were absolutely stunning. The rainbow one was cute. The fluffy light blue and white with feathers was really adorable. And they also showcased the purse. It was made like a bow, and it was blinged. It was cute. So Chelsea was able to model with the purse, and it was cute. Everything came together the way it was, and the way it should have came together. And Julia and Jonathan were there, because they were panicking when Chelsea said she wasn't gonna want to be on that runway no more. So it was good. It was good. It was a very smooth situation. Vernon came, Anita came, Nicole and Ted came. They had some little cute moments and stuff. Nicole looked cute in her red. Danny looked good in her fuchsia, full length fuchsia. I love Chelsea's hair. I know she wears like a wig. It feels like she wears a wig most of the time, but I liked it when her hair was up in that top knot. She looked so elegant and so cute. Everybody was there except for Bill and Haley. I'm so happy that they weren't there. So happy. And that was pretty much it. It was really a good show. Oh yeah, Anita was looking at one of her dresses that was donated for one of the auctions, and it was on this rotating mannequin, which I thought was beautiful. It was gold sequence, and so that was the same gown that she wore at one of her concerts that she sang at Madison Square Garden when she decided to go solo. To me, it makes it seem like that she does like her life kind of aligns with Diana Ross. That's what it kind of sounds like to me. I don't know, but it kind of sounds like that, dream girl-ish. So she's looking at it, and so Nicole was like, "You missed this?" And Anita's like, "The dress?" And so Nicole's like, "No, Mom, the industry like this." She's like, "Oh, honey, the dress, your father's bidding on it, honey. I'm going to have that before the end of the night." I was like, "You better say that, Anita." So she says, "Yeah, I do sometimes. I do miss it. And I get it. Sometimes you have to really do stuff that's outside of what you're used to." And I feel like that the articulates will be back. I feel like they will. Girl, if you need a fourth articulate, just let me know. I can come in there. I can sing. I saw you sing on your IG. I can sing. So yeah, so we see Vernon bidding on the dress, and that thing was $10,000. So he bidded on it, and of course he won it. So he brought it back home. And I saw Ted. Ted looked fine. Ted, turtleneck Ted, like the girl. She said, "You got a crush on him." Yes, I do. Turtleneck Ted looked good, honey. He was fine. Yeah, I'm gonna miss him. He was real funny. He's hit these last few episodes. He has been such a joy to, of course, see on the screen. But his little banter, his playfulness, his wit, his thug, it's been so many elements. Whatever he is doing, he's making a great exit. He's really hitting a lot of pockets this month before he leaves next month. So bravo for him. And I did read a little extra that Beyond the Gates is really doing well when it comes to ratings, sort of. It's kind of like you have Young and the Restless, then you have General Hospital, but some weeks is inching up between those two. So I'm really proud. Hopefully, it stays around a long time because it has thousands and millions of viewers. I mean, millions. I'm talking about thousands. No, millions. We love the show. So that was pretty much it. Ted was talking to Martin about this bracelet that he got for his mom for the anniversary party when they have it. And that's pretty much it. Nothing really serious about it. They didn't talk about the presidency. I think that Martin is changing his mind about the presidency because he wants to make sure that he's there for the kids more. So I don't think that he's going to run like we thought he would. I don't think he's going to do it because he sees that Tyrell's face is still messed up and he's trying to figure out what happened. I think he knows that he's been bullied But I think he thinks it's for the fact that his parents, he has gay parents. But no, it's because they saw him in his chest underwear. That's what it's about. And I think that was it. I'm trying to hit everything. I wanted to hit that in 10 minutes, which I did. So, okay. So episode number 31, I just finished watching that. We open with Andre arriving at the hospital, taking pictures of the nurses. Ted shows up, and for some reason, the nurses are freezing on Andre. They don't want him to be around, or, we see Shanice also side-eyeing in the background. So Ted is looking nice, honey. He had a button down today, honey. He had a button down. He was looking nice. Nice. Anyway, Andre can't understand why the ladies that keep running away from him. He got rid of his cameraman and the lighting person because he wanted to get a more natural and a more authentic, comfortable feel for the documentary. So he's been using his own personal camera. So Ted tells him that nurses are too afraid of what they can share because of the politics with the doctors and because of HIPAA. So you got to be careful with that. So Ted asks him about the picture, some picture that he took about some lion or lioness. And he was in the Congo when he took that picture. Andre was. He was like saying, well, tell me about it. He said, well, I had to have some patience, Dad. I had to wait. He said, well, you got to do the same thing. You're going to have to have some patience. You're going to just have to wait, and then you're going to shoot your shot. So, to me, that was like a double meaning, how he feels about Ashley, just wait, have some patience. When things fall apart, shoot your shot. And of course, we see her later. So he catches them talking about some patients in the background, like, girl, patient in room 1953, he had their cousin like a mother sucker. Then the patient, when he gonna get his enema? And patient number 204, he keeps snoring, just different stuff. And so, it was very real. They didn't know that the camera was on them, and that's what he was looking for. He's coming with a different angle. He really wants to make sure that their true stories are told, and so we can see how heroic they really are. So it was pretty cute. And so when Ted comes back, he says, yeah, man, I think I got something. So he did. He got something. And Ted tells him to go back to making stories to be more intimate, not so big and theatric. It's intimate. That's why the documentary is the way it is. And it's not a pride of lions, but you want to just focus on maybe one. And of course, he's going to focus on Ashley. So he was like, maybe you want to stay. And Ted was like, hell, but no, I'm going back to home to my wife, in which he did. So talking about them real briefly, they get back to the house and they were real sad about the fact that they have to let Eva go. But they also hear that Laura, honey, has gotten worse. She's good, though. When we see her, she was sitting up talking and stuff, and she got some type of infection. I wonder fucking why. Nurse Leslie. Honey, the girl developed an infection. The girl had a heart attack. Girl had so much. And Leslie was like, what's going on? I'm good. I'm feeling good. I'm talking. I'm ready to go and kiki and do my, country flap that fan. I'm ready to stab. The doctor was like, hell no. You got an infection that's there. They found high levels of potassium in her system. I think that's what Leslie put in her IV bag, was a syringe full of potassium, which took her levels up, which probably could have killed her, could have fucked her heart up. But Leslie don't care. So, let's see. So they just talked about the fact that she was coming back. This is Ted and Nicole talking about that Laura's coming back. They're going to miss Eva. And so, Ted was like, what we could do, because Eva's really good. Maybe we can help her get a job at the country club as the country club hairstylist. And it's like, good idea. So they gave each other a high five, and Eva was listening in the background. She's like, fuck that. I'm an administrative assistant, honey. I ain't no fucking hairdresser. Girl, that's how you started out. That's what you said you did. She's like, no, I don't want that. So, yeah, she didn't like that. So, yeah, Chelsea comes over, gave Samantha some flowers, thanked her for coming by. She wanted to sit down and talk to her because she knew how excited Samantha was about becoming a model. So when I tell you that Chelsea ran down everything in the book about why she should not be a model, even she has a friend who developed an eating disorder and she almost died, so the girl is not modeling anymore. And Samantha was like, I still want to model. And so Chelsea was like, girl, after everything I done told you. She was like, yeah, I still do. It's like, it's a passion, and I liked it. So she was like, look, talk to your pappies first, and then we'll see. So she talked to them, and we'll see. So Tyrell is still stalking himself. He sees all these people are crazy, making all these memes about him in his panties, honey. So is that it? Oh, yeah, we see about Nicole. Nicole found the camera in her office. Remember the camera that Cass had there because she wanted to record Eva doing some down low shit. Well, she found the camera, so she thought that I don't remember her finding it, but she told Cat came to the office. She said, "Girl, didn't I tell you to get rid of this shit?" So she's like, "Oh, ma'am, I thought I did." "No, you didn't. It's right here. I don't want you to keep hounding that girl. Leave that child alone. Give us all some rest and some peace now. You getting on my nerves. You getting on everybody's nerves. Get along with that child or else." And so Kat was like, "Yes, ma'am, I'm going to do it." So as she left, while they was in there fussing, Eva was, Eva's always ear jocking at the door. She always doing that ear jocking, being nosy. So when she saw that Kat was leaving, she kind of snuck off like, "Oh shit." So she acted like she was coming back in. So her and Kat met in like this meeting living room area, and they was like, and they just walked past each other. They ain't even say shit to each other. I was like, y'all is evil. So Eva came there, and she was, really disappointed about the fact that Laura is coming back, and Nicole was too. So that was it. It wasn't really a lot that they talked about. So again, we talked about Laura. She had her orthopedic procedure. That was fine. Again, they found the high potassium levels in her blood. So we see later on Eva is at Orphe Jean's, and then Tomas sees her sitting there, and he kind of gives her some encouragement. Their little conversation wasn't really about nothing. We see Tomas again also having lunch with Kat before Eva, and so she invites him to her birthday party. So she was like, "Are you sure you want to come? My dad will be there and everybody." He's like, "Even your scowling grandpappy?" He's like, "Yeah, you can be there." So he was like, "I'm not afraid. You'll protect me." So that was cute. Martin and Smitty had little intimate talks. Finally calmed down for a little bit. I'm happy to see that they were calm, and I thought that was really cute, their little dinner session. But let me talk about the real one, honey, Miss Leslie, showing up with that hideous shaking gold wet wavy wig. We see the back of her head. So she gets there at the hospital, the back of her head, and she goes to one of the machines, the laptops with the patient records. She pulls up Laura's information. And so I'm going to read word for word. Sometimes I got to hit it. Sometimes I hit real quick, but sometimes you got to do word for word. And I love Leslie. Leslie will flip that script on you, literally. So Leslie comes in with a hideous wig and looks on Laura's patient history and just starts changing shit. So nurse boss Shanice catches her and says, "You must be new here. What's your story?" So Leslie turns around with that wicked smile. And so Shanice was like, "The name is Shanice, and yours?" And Leslie was like, "Oh, so happy to finally make your acquaintance. I've heard so much about you." And so Shanice was like, "Fuck that. Your name?" So Leslie was like, Lulu Linhart. Transferred her a couple of days ago from Provident Medical and was one of the OR nurses for Miss Peterson. And when she had her surgery, I'm just checking on our patient. She had this real country accent. So Shanice was like, "Yeah, right, bitch." So Shanice was like, "Oh, well, good." So Leslie's like, "Is she recovering well?" So Shanice says, "Unfortunately, no, her heart's doing fine, but she's contracted some infection." And so Leslie's like, "Oh, what a shame. I hope it isn't too bad." So Shanice was like, "Well, she'll be here for a few weeks at least." And Leslie was like, "Well, I, for one, will tell you that I will do all that I can to make sure she has a speedy recovery. Nice to meet you." So Shanice was like, "Hold on, bitch. When did you say you transferred in?" So Leslie was like, "Oh, a couple of nights ago. The night shift. Ooh, dead as a doornail, honey. But I will definitely keep my eye out for you, Miss Shanice. That's a promise." So Shanice gives her a really ugly, stern look as she walks away. So that was really a cute little moment. But I think Shanice is going to definitely keep an eye. What I was telling my boyfriend was like, I have a feeling that Andre was recording that shit. We didn't see him in that scene, but I feel like he was like in the corner somewhere recording it. He's going to share the footage with his uncle. He's going to share it with Ted, and Ted's going to see her face on that damn camera. He going to share it with him. He's going to say, look back, Daddy, this is what look, Unc, this is what I got. You know, I've edited all this together. This is what I got. And he going to see her face on that camera. I just got that feeling, y'all. I'm telling you, I'm not a writer. I just got that gut. I got two guts, honey. One of these guts is telling me that I feel like he was recording her. Because he was recording everybody else. Even Ashley had a moment where she fucked up. Like she wrote something in a patient's file, and Dr. Flannery, which was also Leslie's doctor, he said, did you write this in the file? She's like, yes. He said, you know that decimal point is in the wrong place. Oh my gosh, she just panicked. Like, she panicked. Like, she was like so scared. So he was like, look, just don't let that shit happen again. Because I have worked with CPT codes and ICD-9 codes. And when you put the decimal point in the wrong spot, it could be two different procedures, two different diagnoses. It could be 923.5 or 92.35 or 9.2. All of them, it could have the same numbers, but if that decimal point is in the wrong spot, it could be a whole different type of game. And that really made her panicky. So of course Andre was recording that shit. So she said, that's what she said. Andre, I need for you to delete that shit right now. Why did you do that? He was like, this is real. I mean, this is what the nurses go through, right? And she was like, well, I don't want anybody to know that. I'm nervous. He was like, well, I mean, just tell me what you're going through. So she tells him how she's nervous, and, we're supposed to appear perfect all the time as a nurse. And I need for you to really, delete that out. I don't want to talk about that anymore. I want to talk about something else. And as she's saying that, we can see Derek coming off the elevator. And so he was like, Andre had his back toward Derek. And he was like, tell me about the most memorable patient. She was like, well, are you talking about when my boyfriend was here? So we find out that Ashley has a fear of losing Derek. Like, he's a firefighter. And the last thing that she would want is to have her boyfriend be wheeled in there, burned to a crisp, or even DEAD, And she really has a fear about that. She panics about it. And she really does not want to go through that with her boyfriend. So we find out that. I'm like, I never knew that. I'm sure that a lot of nurses and cops' wives and people like that who are always nervous about their significant other going out there in the field, not knowing if they'll make it home. So I can understand how she feels. She still want Andre, honey. She still want Andre. She can go and cry and look all week, all she want, but she want that boy. She want that baby. She do. And that was it. That was 2. That's why I decided to go in and put 2 in 1. So I did it. 30 episodes, 31 actually. I did it. Consistency is key. It might not be every day, but I'm going to hit it the way I need to. Yeah, my internet is perfect. I got the top echelon package now. It was very, very glitchy. Like the end of my wire thing was all ate up. So the cable man came over here. So because I needed my internet for work. So I was like, I'm going to get to y'all. I just don't know when, but I'm going to get to you. And so glad that I did. So I am done. Thank you so much for coming by. It looks like this is going to be a really short video, shorter than my other ones. Not as long as the other ones, but these 2 episodes were pretty decent. I haven't seen episode number 32 yet, so I can only imagine how crazy that's going to be with that damn Leslie. Oh, at the end, Eva comes home and she tells her mom that she's feeling sad about the fact that Laura's coming back, and Leslie's like, oh, you poor baby. And so she said, but I did hear that that Laura's gotten worse, and that she needs to be in the hospital for a few more weeks. And so Leslie's like, oh child, really, girl, the heavens are smiling on you, girl, you need to be glad. And so Eva was like, mama, you didn't have nothing to do with that child doing that. Me, honey, giving a child an infection? Girl, your imagination just be running wild. I'm like, girl, your imagination. No, your imagination. Them damn wigs. But you were clearly an actress. I could tell. Like whatever character you playing. I think I forgot her name now. I knew it when I was looking at it, but I can't remember the actress's name. But the character, she did say that she did do a lot of acting, and she does mention that a lot. She mentioned Viola Davis. She mentioned Shakespeare. She mentioned. So I feel like that was her. That's her job. That she likes to do different roles, whether she does temp roles as a server here or nurse there or something like that. She probably is registered at one of these acting agencies, and she tells them that she needs a costume for a certain role that she's going to audition for. She goes and takes that particular costume and then does it. That's what I feel that she does, because she's just so chameleon-like. But I have a feeling that Andre recorded that whole situation with her and Shanice talking. And Ted, he's going to share that footage with Ted, all of the edited footage that he got, because he's going to show how Shanice is very protective over patients' information, and also how this strange nurse is this nurse who comes out the blue shows concern, like she left her hospital to come over there to check on the patient. So they're heroes, remember? Not her, because she ain't no damn nurse. So anyway, y'all, thank y'all so much for coming by. I am back for now. Yeah, I needed that break, and I needed to take care of some personal stuff, definitely with my cable, so I can get it upgraded and get it to where I need it to be, because I'm working. I can't have it be popping out on me like that. I got it. Have it nice and crisp. So, and it is good. I got a 1G. I'm like, okay, Spectrum. Y'all did that. All right. Y'all take it easy. Y'all be blessed. Be safe out there. Remember, you got this. Remember that? Never forget it. All right? You got it. Again, there's some flip-flopping going on. I don't talk about that over here. If you want to know how I react to the current events of today, I don't go into details because I'm not no expert. I just, I listen and I don't judge sometimes. I go to Thespian Auntie Reacts. You'll see me sharing some things from the current climate and my little say-so about what's going on. It ain't a lot. So if you're on the other side, this ain't no shade. I'm just observing and offering my little commentary. That's it. That's all I do. So anyway, thank you so much for coming by. Be blessed, and I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.